So we are going to have a really productive session. Those who have the slides already know what exciting things we have in store. And to start us off, we're going to have really elegant. Caleb, kindly switch off your video. We can see your beautiful kids. Caleb Onoja. Yes. Okay, kindly make sure your video is off and your audio is on mute before we see or hear things that were probably not meant for us. So I am just going to introduce the moderators that will be taking us through the sessions. We have myself, and I'm the Yalda Regional Associate for East Africa. We have Notilja Asenya Vilansulo, who's the Regional Associate for Yalda, Lusophone Africa. We also have Mr. Shelvin Ramsamy, who is the Yalda Regional Associate for Southern and Northern Africa. Then we have my deputy, Christopher Mokaya, who is the Yalda East Africa Deputy Regional Associate. Then from West Africa, we have Mr. John Obuaba, who is the Regional Associate for West Africa. Then last but not least, we have our wonderful leaders from the IEC, Bukamu and Matthews, plus Britannia, who is the head of all the Yalda Regional Associates in East Africa. So with time, you will get to interact and know these people through the slides because they will be presenting to you. So I'm just going to switch off my video and share my screen so we can start the presentation. But basically, the slides were shared by email and everyone has access. But in the meantime, I'm just going to take you through the agenda of the meeting. We have 6 key things that we're going to focus on today. The first one is the impact of COVID-19 on Yalda activities. How has COVID-19 affected all of us in our various branches? Then we're going to look at the importance of taking activities digital. I mean, most of the universities have not been in session. We've been trying to do things digitally. Some countries and branches have faced challenges. Others have been able to hack it. So we're going to share experiences from different branches and even some tips on how to go digitally. Then we're going to look at Yalda recommendations of going digitally. Then we're going to look at how, as Yalda members, we can assist our community during the crisis. Then finally, we're going to look at any important announcements that the team may have to make. So please stay tuned. If you have a notebook, I advise you to please get it close to you, pen and paper. It's always good to have a pen and paper because you do not know what nugget of wisdom or what tip or what wisdom someone will share that you will want to note down and keep in memory forever. So I'm thinking we're about to solve the introduction. Now we're going to go ahead and start with the training. And our first speaker who's lined up for today is none other than the vibrant and energetic Notilja Asenya from Lusophone Africa. She's going to take us through COVID-19 impact on Yalda branch activities. Notilja, do we have you on the call? Notilja, can you hear me? Okay, it seems we've lost Notilja probably for a while. Shelvin, are you ready? We can just skip Notilja's slide and go on ahead with yours. Do you feel you're ready to present, Shelvin?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So as we wait for Notilja to come back online, we're going to have our first speaker instead being none other than the humble and very industrious and ambitious Shelvin Ramsamy. Those who've not seen his CV, you better go and head there for inspiration. Basically, he's the Yalda Regional Associate for Southern and Northern Africa, and he's going to take us through continuing digital activities in 2021, how this is important and how we can do this. Shelvin, take the floor, it's all yours.
Yeah, thank you. So hello everyone. So I'm going to take you on in the importance of taking activities, digital activities. Okay, so that's me, Shelvin Ramsamy, Regional Associate for Southern and Northern Africa. So continuing digital activities in 2021, it is still important. Why? I give you 5 reasons. The first one is that it is important to ensure effective inclusion and participation of all Yalda members and that no member is left behind. We need an inclusive participation of everyone alike. The second important issue is that we need to continue programming and enhancing the leadership and soft skills of our members, because we need our members to continuously improve all their skills and abilities. Thirdly, we need to keep the members informed of the personal and development impact of the COVID-19 crisis and the role they can play in their communities. As our world is facing a difficult period, very challenging time, so we need our members to be committed and to play their part, okay, in fighting this global pandemic, so that all of us, we can come out stronger of this pandemic. Fourthly, we need to increase engagement with the other key stakeholders. So our stakeholders are still here, okay? Not because of COVID, not because of we are going digital, that we must forget them. So we need to actually continue our activities, continue our engagement, and continuously engage with them now via email. And when the time will come, then we come back physically again. Fifth, we need to show Yalda's long-term commitment to support its members. So we need actually to show that Yalda is not only here when the activities are physical, when everything is going normal, but we are here also to adapt in difficult circumstances, and we can support our members. For example, we can organize different activities online, okay, like some stress management cafes for our members, and to help them drive and navigate through this difficult period of their lives. Now, digitization ensures effective inclusion and participation of all Yalda members. So Yalda branches, all our branches, they need to promote an unprecedented level of digital collaboration among their members. This is very important, okay? Our members, they need to come together to find solutions for the world, for their community, to come out stronger. Our members should also be able to actively participate and engage in shaping digital solutions, and must be meaningfully included in every aspect of their branch programming. It is important that we give each and every member the opportunity, the chance to play an active role in all the activities that are being engaged. For example, if one team member is part of the events and networking team, and the other one is part of the communications team. So when the communications team is organizing something, why not take these members from the events team and bring in there so that they can develop additional skills and enhancing their abilities. Now, digitization will also result in expanded networks, which will foster meaningful connections in the Yalda community. This is absolutely true. With the internet, with social media, with the new means of digital communication that you have today, like WhatsApp, etc. So you have an unlimited number of communications that you can make. You can connect with someone in another part of the world, in another country, instantly, at any moment. So you have the opportunity with digitization to actually make some excellent contacts throughout Africa and also throughout the world. And hence, you're able to actually expand the other branches and know more about yourself, know more about your skills and your abilities, and also have a broader perspective of things, which will definitely help in life. Over to you, Natalie.
Thank you so much, Shelvin. That was really up to detail and on the point. If any of you, especially the executive directors, have questions for Shelvin regarding the slides, you can either share them on the chat or email them to him. He's really approachable and he can be able to clarify anything that is not clear. But just in case we have time at the end of this session, we may have a question and answer. So moving on, I'm not sure if Notilija is online, but as we still wait for her and give her a chance, because we all understand the challenges of going digital. Sometimes there's no internet access. Other times you're just over there and then there's a power cut. So as we still wait for Notilija, I will go ahead with the next presenter, and that is myself. And we shall be looking at the Yalda recommendations of going digital. Kindly move on to the next slide, Shelvin. All right, that's me. For those who don't know how I look like. So now, basically, Yalda came up with a list of recommendations that are meant to help your branches go digital. And the first thing as branches you should do is look at your expectations, and as a branch, where do you want to go, what do you want to achieve? It can be both done digitally and non-digitally. Next thing you need to do, and the second very critical step, is evaluating the work of committees. As branches, you have different committees that are responsible for achieving different objectives. They can't just work. You need to reevaluate their work and see, can their work be done digitally? Is there a way you can assist and support them as a branch? The third step is developing your Go Digital branch strategy. This is really important. We shared the digital branch strategy. You can find it on the website and our social media pages. If some of you are new and have just become executive directors of your branches and you have never heard of the Go Digital branch strategy, please reach out to us, the region associates, and then we can have like a training or a one-on-one to explain to especially the new members. But I'm sure most of you on this call have been with Yalda for a while. The fourth step is organizing online activities. Now, this step is important because if online activities are not organized, then your branch is more or less dormant. Since COVID, most universities have not been in session and other classes have been online. So the importance of organizing online activities, it reassures your members. It lets them remember that Yalda is still active, and even if despite during the even despite the pandemic, Yalda is still organizing things that can help the Yalda members grow professionally and, basically improve their personal development. Now, the fifth recommendation Yalda came up with was digital platforms to use for implementation. Now, of course, some digital platforms are more friendly than others, depending on the country you come from. So you need to experiment with different digital platforms. Maybe for you, Zoom works better. Maybe for another branch, Skype works better. Or maybe there are apps where you can share documents and share different ways of doing things in your particular branch. So you need to sit down and identify a list of digital platforms that are, one, very data efficient, because you don't want a platform whereby if you use the platform, all your MBs you probably saved up to buy are depleted. So you need to find a platform that is affordable for you in terms of data, and a platform that is easy for your members to access and use. Usually platforms that don't need signing in are more user-friendly. Last but not least, you need, as branches, to remember to keep your members motivated and inspired. It's been a trying period for so many people. Some people have had to drop out of university, others have lost their jobs, others are really not sure of where they're headed. So as branch leaders, we need to keep our members in the loop, keep them motivated and inspired so that they're able to keep the Yalda spirit alive and going. Shalvin, kindly move on to the next slide. Okay, as Shalvin is moving on to the next slide, the next slide is basically what Yalda expects of all branches. So you are here attending this meeting as a branch leader. Do you know the expectations Yalda has for you? Basically, there are two: communication and transparency. Do you participate in Yalda's global effort? Personally, I can say Yalda is one of the few youth organizations that has a newsletter that is specifically focused on giving you opportunities. How many times do you open that newsletter, look at the links, and actually apply to all those opportunities? There are Yalda members who just started out as Yalda members but ended up representing their branch outside, ended up representing their branches in conferences. So as branch leaders, do you see these opportunities and share them with your members? Or do you see the opportunities and just keep quiet? That is very important. Communication. You also need to be able to communicate with your region associate and ask any questions that are at your heart. Do not feel you're going through something and then keep it to yourself. You need to ask questions and share your opinions. And because we value that, we'll try and make a quick slot for questions and answers at the end of this meeting or training. Next slide, Shelvin. All right. So now we already looked at this slide, so now we can just go to the next slide, and which is involving members through committees. How do you do that? Because we spoke of one of the steps was involving members, but how exactly do you do that? And one thing we need to first look at is that Yalda committees, Shelvin, you can move on to the next slide. Yalda committees are basically formed and meant to keep members actively engaged in the organization and give them a sense of purpose, and belonging. So basically, if all your members belong to a certain committee, this helps them feel part and parcel of the whole process. Then, as an applied leadership platform, the committees also help members develop critical leadership skills. Remember, the whole point of Yalda, the core of its foundation, why it was founded, was to help young people develop the professional skills that would help them excel at the workplace. So how do we do that as Yalda region executives and Yalda branch leaders? We need to engage our members in this committee so they get those soft skills that will help them at their jobs in future. Then there are a variety of committees to cater to the diversity interest of your members. So you can look at the kind of members you have and the kind of committees that would suit your particular branch, because different branches may have different committee needs. Lastly, all committees are required to have chairs and as many members as your branch sees fit. The reason for this is if each committee has a chair, then first of all, follow-up is easier. Instead of asking all the members what they have accomplished, you just have to keep in touch with the chairs and then they will update you. I see finally Elizabeth is able to share her screen. Okay, she's gone off again. All right. Now the next slide is the committee meeting. So these are just examples of committees you can have. For example, events and planning, a committee that is specifically in charge of events and planning. Project and action, this is optional depending on what you see suits the needs of your branches. We have branch expansion. We can have a committee that focuses on how to expand branches. Fundraising and corporate sponsorships, very important. Partners and professional, that's another committee on its own. And then publicity and public relations, rather publicity and publications. So these are examples of committees you can have in your specific branch. But like we said in our earlier slide, depending on the different needs, you can sit down with your other fellow leaders and see what other committees you can add or subtract so that the results are tailor-made for you. All right, next slide, Shelvind. Last but not least, the last slides look at how committees need to go digital due to COVID-19. Now, when COVID first came, we first cried about it, we were sad about it, but now we need to move on with it. That's why it's hashtag called the new normal. So how committees can go digital is training teams. They need to plan and organize online trainings for members, and to motivate members, they can probably provide a certification. Next, branch expansion teams can take advantage of the current digitalization to reach out to more young people. Since the invent of social media, it's easier to reach out to more young people. So branch expansion teams can find out creative ways of reaching out to these university students and letting them know what Yalda is about. Publicity teams should do more publicity online. The same way some of you maybe found out about this forum online is the same way publicity teams can use to advocate for maybe Yalda campaigns or any project or activity your particular branch is doing. Next, we have the events team. These should plan innovative online events, for example, seminars, competitions, business exchanges. You can have essay writing, art competitions, IT competitions, depending on what suits your branch. Remember, much as we're Yalda family, every branch has its own unique members, its own unique needs, and its own unique ways of innovating. So don't be scared and think, oh, this is not being done in the south or west, we can't do it in the east. No, each branch has the leeway to do whatever feels suits its needs, as so long as the whole point of the process is you're growing your members and you're helping them be better professionals. Last but not least, the fundraising team should start raising funds online. Nowadays, we are living in an age where there's PayPal, living in an age where there's mobile money, living in an age where you can do crowdfunding. So your fundraising team should come up with very creative ideas of raising money for your particular branch so that you can assist your members and you're able to be as creative as possible in coming up with whatever it is that's needed to come up with. So basically, this is how you as a Yalda branch leader can have a committee or can have committees in a particular branch that will help you achieve what you have to achieve and propel your branch to the next level. That is it for my session. Without wasting further time, I will introduce the next trainer, and that is none other than the very handsome, as you can see from the picture, Mr. John Obuaba from West Africa. He is going to take us through how you can develop your branch digital action plan. First of all, John, do we have you online?
Sure, Britannia, you have me.
Natalie.
Hello, Bitana.
All right.
Sorry,
It's not
Natalie.
Bitanya, it's not
I'm always confused with these two.
better to be
Yeah, sure. Okay, you have me.
all right, perfect. You have the floor. If you want, you can share your video, but if not, just go on. Take it over.
Okay, so Shelvin, next slide, please. So I wouldn't share my video because internet connectivity is an issue here. Okay, so I would first of all thank you, Natalie, for the opportunity and our cherished listeners. I would want to start from the point where Natalie indicated that we need to take our activities online. It is very important that in these times of COVID-19, we go digital. Going digital also means that we need to accept the new normal and that we need to plan. We need to really develop it as a strategy. So as branches, we would need to put this in a plan or strategize and have a digital plan of how we want to take our activities online. Now, committee activities must be taken online. Branch engagement activities must be taken online, as well as branch meetings in itself also must be taken online. So as branches, Kevin, next slide, please. As branches, you need to sit as a team and put all your actions you want to undertake into a well clearly stipulated actions with timelines. First of all, if you are not so clear about what you want to do, you would not succeed. So, as branches, you would need to formulate clear actions you want to undertake. Ensure that all your members really understand what you want to do. What platforms or mediums would you use online to deliver these activities? How are your committees going to also take advantage of online platforms to do their work? And at the end of the day, as branches, you need to put in place an evaluation mechanism to ensure that all these actions you have stipulated to undertake, you are really doing it. All the community activities are on track. All the branch engagement activities are on track. And what challenges you are facing in using these online platforms? Train members who are unable in terms of knowledge to use these platforms to follow you or to be with you, leaving no one behind. Your branch members who have knowledge in using these platforms like Skype, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, GoToMeeting, should be able to assist the rest of the team members to achieve all this together. So in summary, what I just want to say is that as a branch, you need to develop a branch strategy in terms of going digital. And the branch leaders must ensure that all members are following it, understands it, and are involved in the process. Have the next slide, please. So whilst I wait for Kelvin, once you develop your digital action plans, you must, one of the ways of making it more participatory is to develop calendar invites and share among members so that all members have it in their calendars booked that this activity is happening this day and this is the medium as a way of a reminder to all your group members. Yalda South Africa has done something wonderful, which I would want them to share to listeners in terms of digital action planning and how they've been able to take their activities online. So I'll give the floor to Nkateko to share with us what Southern Africa Yada branch was able to do.
Nkaketo Kosa, are you on the call? Okay, I think he's not on the call, John, so you can just go and present the slide on his behalf.
Okay.
And As we wait for him,
Okay.
Moses, Yalda, please be ready. You're the next ED director, presenter. John, please go ahead.
Okay, so Yada South Africa did something brilliant, which they would want to share to all participants. They hold events online. There's a series of event teams, Straight Talk. It's a critical conversation with Yada South African members. So they do this all the time, and they used to engage members online. The first event seeks to provide opportunity to explore and evaluate the various stakeholders in increasing their access to young people to the internet. So they try to ignite the quest and the zeal among young people to move their activities online. The second event also seeks to provide a platform for critical debate on the determinants of building a more resilient medical supply chain in South Africa. So they have taken this action upon themselves, discussing how medical supplies get to users or those who need it most. They used this online platform to engage and have conversations among stakeholders.
Okay, John, we're losing you. You're on and off. I'm not sure if I'm not the only one. Could you just kindly go back a bit? Okay.
Young people are able to identify opportunities and leverage of digitization and the African Free Collector Trade area in growing their business. So yeah, that's a pipeline. How of the then the Yada South African the communication launched a teen info session to encourage everyone to participate in social media. So they encourage young people to go digital. They encourage young people to go online and do the activities online responsively. So this is one of the actions the Yada South African communication team have taken upon themselves. The lesson we want to draw in this is that as branches, ensure that all your committees have something specific they are doing in terms of digitalization, in terms of taking the whole branch actions online. So each branch or each committee should have this clear stipulated actions that they want to undertake. And so we are learning from Yada certificate that all branches should be able to assign specific roles to their key committees to take actions online. And they should also have national conversations around key thematic issues using these online platforms we are talking about. Then it means that practically we are demonstrating Yada going digital. Next slide, please. So thus it's important that constantly we engage the other key stakeholders and partners digital. So branch members will need to build capacity in terms of this, and we also need to pull others along in terms of access to using the internet facilities so that they are able to achieve the overall objective as a branch. Next slide, please. So after you've developed your digital action plans, you need to move your meetings online. So the basic issue here is that as you develop your digital action plan, ensure that all your action, all your meetings as a branch is located within your digital strategy, so that even our branch meetings, committee meetings are part of the holistic digital action plan, so that you know when you are having meetings, when committees are supposed to provide feedback on their actions and what medium they are using. So more often, you have to use platforms that are convenient, like Natalie earlier said. Platforms that are convenient. We know that as young people in this part of our world, we are not having equal access in terms of capacity and even access in the first place. So we need to pull our colleagues along. Members or leaders with the knowledge on how to use these platforms must also ensure that they are able to get down the knowledge, or they are able to transfer this knowledge to their other members so that they also follow activities. Holding meetings with board members and advisors in these times is critical. So as team members or as branch executives, you need to really lead this process to ensure that engagement with your advisors, engagement with your board members are also done digital. This saves cost, and through that process, we are able to draw connections easily. Then, as branches, we need to conduct quarterly meetings. Like I've said, quarterly meetings. So the issue is that as a branch, you need to be very specific in the frequency of your meetings. So as a branch, if you decide to have quarterly meetings, you need to clearly stipulate this and even have times and create calendar invite and share with your members. So every member is aware that, for instance, Yalda University of Botswana, we are having our meeting this quarter on this date. We are having our second meeting in this second quarter on this date, and so on. If you are having monthly meetings, you need to clearly stipulate that so that you share amongst your members. Then the members are also keeping track of all this and ensure that they participate in the meetings. At the end of the day, you need to evaluate these plans, whether you are really achieving the plans that you have sought out to do. Your digital action plans as a team, you need to evaluate. If you don't evaluate, you don't know where you fall short. The evaluation brings learning, and evaluation also ensures that you are able to improve upon or address the challenges that you are facing, so that at the end of the day, you are able to pull everyone along. So this is how we can take some of our activities online. Yalda Ghana did something brilliant, which they will share with us on how to take the activities online and how to manage activities online. Next slide, please. So I'll give the floor to Moses.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
So I'll give the floor to Moses, Yalda, President of Yalda Ghana, to share with us how they've been able to take some of their activities online, how they were able to manage and moderate that process. Thank you, Moses.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible enough. Can someone confirm I'm audible?
Yes, we can hear you, Moses. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
All right. As Mr. John rightly said, Moses Adena is my name. I'm here to quickly share with you how we move our branch activities online. We looked at simple available tools that most of our members are on, like WhatsApp, social media, and when it comes to meetings, we use Zoom, for instance, the free subscription. So, and we also introduced a weekly program to engage our members during the COVID time, especially the peak of the second wave. So we introduced a weekly event whereby we engage our members on social media, WhatsApp specifically, and we try to tweak salient points from whatever that is going on WhatsApp. So for instance, we started an entrepreneurship and leadership training every Thursday, where we look for a resource person to engage our members, and they'll take them through leadership and leadership. So if you look at the flyer, you see that one of them, which was organized by Tosin Kato, a Nigerian from Almond and Bars Multimedia. He spoke on Where Money Hides. So this event, for instance, was held on WhatsApp group. So we have the speaker and a host. So it will be like an interview. The host will be interviewing the speaker, will be asking the speaker a series of questions, and he responds. And by the end of the session, members will have the opportunity to ask him or her questions, and will get responses as well. So throughout the session, we will try to treat most of the important points on our social media handles, Facebook and Twitter, as well as Instagram as well. So this is one of the things that we did during the peak of the COVID. And we also started looking for interest groups to also push the agenda of Yalda the sensitization among young people, the opportunities that are availed by the AFCTFA. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area always have a difficulty mentioning the abbreviation. So we started looking for interest groups, and we identified some. So for instance, Wayne Leadership Development was one of them, business club. So we were trying to do the sensitization in our own small way, whilst we are waiting for the bigger ones, or if COVID pass, we'll be able to do the bigger ones. So we started with this, and we are able to engage business club. We are also able to engage with leadership development. And one of our meetings was on Zoom, and the rest were held on WhatsApp with the same strategy, a host and a speaker session. So you can see one of the flyers here. And besides that, our meetings, we adopted the Model United Nations concept, whereby during our meeting, we have the agenda and we do it as if it's a debate. So we give you a limited time. If we read out the item on our agenda, if you have a submission, you raise your hand and you'll be given a limited time to make your submission, after which we will debate on it, get a resolution on that, and we move to the next item. So these are some of the things that we started doing since the inception of our data action plan. So basically, these are what we are able to do. So for instance, the Zoom meeting, early this year, we are privileged to have a premium feature. So most of our meetings, we are able to record them, and we send a transcript of the audio, the video, and even the text, so that those who are not able to participate will have access to them as well. So as I said earlier, we use the moderator.
Try and summarize, please.
Okay. So I think I'm almost done. I think that is it. So usually that's what we do at Yalda Ghana. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Moses, for that very eloquent presentation. And it was a bonus that we got to see how, like, I'm hoping all the other branch leaders have been able to take notes what Yalda is doing to activate and make sure their online meetings go smoothly. One thing, to advocate for good packages so that you are able to accommodate as many members as possible. Thank you so much, Moses. We really intensely appreciate your time and your very detailed presentation. Okay, so now moving on, our next presenter is none other than the East Africa Deputy, Christopher Mokaya, very hardworking, young, ambitious man who we are proud to have part of our team since the beginning of this year. Those who do not know, a quick fun fact about Christopher is that he is going to be standing for the 2022 presidential election in Kenya. I'm not sure if it's changed, Christopher. You can quickly update us that will support. But he's going to take us to the next part. Stay tuned and listen to what we have to say. Christopher, do we have you online?
Yes. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Fantastic. The floor is yours. Take it on.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you for the compliments. I'm Christopher Alvin Mokaya from Nairobi, Kenya. And yes, I am in the race because we must be the change that we wish to see, and there must not be any other people. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and the time is now. So yes, for those Kenyans in the house, look out for me on the ballot paper next year. And as Uhuru Kenyatta goes home, the young people must take the reins of power. But for now, let's do first things first. Then Yalda needs to go online, and the digital strategies are the way forward, especially in the face of COVID-19. And so you may move to the next slide as we talk about taking our meetings online. And we are going to basically look at how we can organize trainings for your team members and everyone who is involved in your branch or in your region, you can actually go online and organize a number of activities. And I'm just going to mention some of them. For example, what you as a branch, you can organize through your committees or through your officials at the branch level and involve those people, or young people can benefit in your campus, in your city. You can tackle, for example, how to use online tools. Not everyone knows how to use online tools. Now, in the face of COVID-19, there is a lot of mental health issues. So you have to, for example, tackle stress management. If you tackle stress management, bring in an expert like a psychotherapist or someone who handles counseling, it will be very, very crucial in helping manage the mental health issues occasioned by the onset of COVID-19. Time management is an often overlooked thing, but it is important also that we look at such trainings on time management. You can look at how to train on writing compelling articles and stories online. And there, young people are making a huge sum of money online, just writing articles, academic articles. Others are just articles for the press, for various websites, for social media. So let us, as young people, see how we can train fellow young people to take part of these opportunities, to take advantage of these opportunities. And we can also talk about writing business plans. If Tony Elmelu Foundation wants to fund a business out there, or in the case of Kenya, Equity Bank has a lot of money, wants to fund some business idea, or Mark Zuckerberg wants to fund a business idea from Yalda members, how are you going to hack it if you don't have an online training on business plans? So there are so many other things that you can train on online. And speaking of online trainings, classic practical examples have been done. For example, for Yalda Liberia, I'm gonna invite Mohammed of Yalda Liberia, the Yalda Liberia president, to give us a practical example of how he has leveraged the social media, the WhatsApp platform, Zoom, and other technological platforms to just organize amazing online training. Mohammed, are you online? Mohammed?
Yes, please, Christopher. Can you hear me, please? Online? Yes, I'm online. Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, take it on.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
greetings,
loud and clear. Yardens. Go on. Tell us about you.
Thank you very much, Christopher, for the opportunity again. So, fellow Yardens, Yalda Liberia has leveraged on technology to engage their members in building their capacity on leadership. And as you know, Yalda's primary focus is building capacity in leadership, particularly African university students. So Yalda Liberia organized an online training called the Young Leaders Summit. And the Young Leaders Summit was organized the 22nd to the 24th of July last year during the heat of COVID. And during this summit, we were able to connect 85 delegates from Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea virtually using WhatsApp and Zoom to have the training. And delegates were given several assignments on leadership, finding leadership image, finding their role model in leadership from Africa, and different other research assignments, and engaging each other in the WhatsApp group through thought-provoking conversation. And also we try to connect experts from Africa, particularly the Yalda network, like Yalda Nigeria President Chooks, like John, and also other experts to teach them on different areas in leadership, concept of leadership, social media branding, and effective communication skills. And these 85 fellows delegates were all certificated online. It was an interesting thing, and it will be interesting to note that they are in a cohort. We didn't leave them to go. They are in a cohort. We keep sharing resource materials with them. We keep engaging them on WhatsApp so that we can ensure that they have the basic knowledge. They keep continuing to impact their society from Sierra Leone, Guinea, and that of Liberia. Next is Yalda, Liberia, through one of its university branches, Totman University in Maryland, a very far place in Liberia. We were able to organize and set up a leadership school online also. This online leadership school works on WhatsApp, and we organized the first online leadership and personal development training, which was held 4 days by WhatsApp with 40 students from that university, and we also connected other university students. As you can see on the slide, the flyer for the online training was held. And the online training was basically focusing on 3 areas, as we said. Number 1, leadership, personal development, and effective communication skill. We're also able to give certificates to the 40 students that were trained in this online program. And as you may know also, this online training is our cohort. We will be coming up with the next cohort very soon to have it. It's an online leadership school where we integrate, where we bring students together, we train them online on WhatsApp, having classes at their convenient time, and we connect them with speakers from everywhere, every part of Africa and around the world, to connect and engage them online. And we also integrate an intensive interaction among students using the WhatsApp group, like voice note and text messages. That's how Yalda Liberia has been leveraging on technology to have online trainings. Thank you very much, Christopher.
All right, Mohammed, thank you so much for the amazing presentation. And so we must talk about how to organize thought-provoking or informative community events, and branches can basically organize online events open to members and the general public, such as webinars on various socioeconomic and development topics, featuring prominent speakers from community to global ones, symposiums from various topics basing on the current country issues like COVID-19 and whatever issues that really are pertinent to your country or your region. Question and answer sessions on any topic young people would like to discuss. Even relationships, young people talk about relationship. They want to know the know-how, how to, go about it. Organize such kind of things. Organize a campaign, a competition, a game online. Online fitness events, it can be so amazing. Leverage technology, maybe Insta stories or something. Let us, have an FB live event, online musical performances. People are bored at home during this COVID-19 era. In some places, there's some lockdown still going on. People need to be entertained. So think outside the box or think without the box. Next slide. Next slide. All right. So again, Yalda Morocco is doing amazing, amazing things. So Jawad from Yalda Morocco, he is the president of Yalda Morocco. So I'm gonna invite Jawad. If Jawad is online, can we have some presentation from you? Oh, awesome!
Hi everyone,
awesome.
thank you very much.
I can see you, Jawad.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yes, Irvin, thank you very much. Hi Natalie, everyone. Shelvin, thank you for organizing this retreat. Well, Yalda Morocco is not new anymore. He's over 3 years now. I remember we worked together with Chooks and Laone during the iBoot camp in 2018. Suddenly, with Corona situation, everything changed for Yalda and also for the Yalda sponsors and institutional partners. Lucky we saw like the partnership is maintained with the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, and Yalda also in the local Moroccan branch we did with them time to time. to go straight to the point of the school, I would like just to summarize it quickly. Last year, we identified as like African youth organization new in Morocco. We said we must do something with big impact. So we looked at the situation from a perspective of the donors, in especially in the private sector, and we saw that the problem is based on trust and transparency. Like there is many good people out there, but like to achieve programs and projects that involve money, there is always this mistrust, trust, who's who was what. And we came up with this idea to identify like some basic need of some public structure. In that case, we choose like the education department, like schools, specifically primary schools, public in a place of Casablanca, of the peoples, like poor kind of suburbs that need like the attention and help from different stakeholders. And we went there, and here we have like bad like situation of sanitary levels. So this was on the eve of Corona. Our idea was to secure the donation in nature. We don't touch money. We just like, you guys, you go hook up these guys with this need, and you guys need this. So the role of Yalda was like to lead all this program between the different stakeholders, the local authority, the departments of education. For our volunteers, it was also a big learning experience because it opened their minds and their eyes on the administration, on the real thing, on how to construct things in terms of laws and regulations and all these difficulties. Then Corona came. So basically, we had like three schools targeted, but budget got cut off from that private company, and we end up securing only for one. So the project finished now. Next week we're gonna handle it for the by the with the special guests and the small party for the kids. It's Ramadan mode in Morocco, so we won't worry about organizing food and in Corona context. So just a little bit for the kids. Everyone is fasting. And from the school we end up taking out a mosque. Everyone hears me. I don't have sound audio issues now. Hello, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So we had like we found out like this small warehouse like mosque, initially a mosque for young people, and we said, okay, we're all Muslims here, and me, I'm very liberal. We said like cannot like have a mosque in 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, like kid kids. So lucky for us with the lobbying we have with Yalda, the good reputation, the strong contacts we had, like no one of the Islamist guys like came out to attack us. We removed the mosque and we changed it to a mini theater. And surprisingly, I look in Casablanca public schools, primary schools, there's only one school with a mini theater for people to promote like para-academic activities, like small carnival in this. And us were the second school. So it's very, very unique, very specific what we did. There's only two schools that they have this small stage to perform like dances and perform like theater and all these items. And the third thing we did in the school is to promote like good, healthy lifestyles, especially with food. People are all like into the junk food, and kids are kids. They still absorb ideas. So we turn in the garden of the school into a small like kitchen garden. We have mint, we have corn, we have few items like 7 or 8 items. Yalda is doing this by encouraging the security guy at the school. He's a skilled man, so we give him time to time money and like things in nature, what he needs, paint. So he's painting, he's doing extra thing, including the garden. So three things, like the bathrooms, we did for the boys, high level, for the ladies, another high level, and we also constructed from new for the preschoolers. And I believe we're the only ones in the Kingdom of Morocco in a public school for the peoples that have like a bathroom dedicated for preschoolers, people 3 years old, 4 years old. Next week, I will share the videos of this end of this work with this private sector company. That's like for the school, which is like I would like to add the points. Since Corona came, budget got cut off from government, so there is no maintenance, no painting, no buying things for no school, no university. And I believe this is all in Africa and all the countries because of the budget limitations that happened in March last year. In terms of branches, like we are planning to renew the bureau in June, in summertime, like the national committee. We have already 3 branches opened in Rabat, one of them in Mohammed V University. We have in Stad, another city, another one in Casablanca, plus this new branch we're opening in the school because we're signing a convention of 2 years, but the kids are only primary school, so we're doing the branch with the teachers and the staff in the school and some parents of the kids. In terms of what Yalda has been doing lately, there is a lot of issues of mobility in Morocco. So we try to just to stick to advice, to WhatsApp groups. We did not even go into Zoom too much, and we wanted to keep like our status the way it was. We have like great relationship with different stakeholders, including government from all levels. So we didn't want to be really seen doing left right things because we're just establishing it. But we did provide few members like to record with the TV and with the government agencies, like these capsules about like promoting the vaccinations. This was at the beginning of this vaccination effort. Now it's stopped. So we had like 3 people there to promote within young generation how important is to the vaccine for corona. That's an example. We do give advice, as I said, on WhatsApp groups. This we had people like a lot of them to rearrange their CVs, to get adapted with these online things. We gave like some advice also and recommendation for parents because like the problem was not only the children at the beginning of the pandemic, it was also the parents. They got lost. Suddenly the guys, they go to the bar, hit the coffee shops. Now they are facing like the future of their kids and they're with them locked down in the house. So they didn't, many people didn't know how to navigate that. And before ending, I would like to speak about potential partnerships with the after the finishing the school next week with the private sector companies. Those companies, they agree to take some of people we can refer for internships, and especially in civil engineering, in this construction world. So they're happy to take our internship things. In their newsletter is gonna go to all of their clients, which is OCP, which is like INWI, like the main institutional partners of Yalda. So doing the school also gave the promotion automatically and free of charge for Yalda with the guys that helped us with iBootcamp, that we're always there, we exist, and we're doing this very unique thing. The African trade is the catchphrase now for everyone looking into doing business, especially where I'm standing here in Morocco. And there is knowledge, there is lack of knowledge on that. So we did this series of things. Of, sorry, what?
Try and summarize. We have like 2 minutes interventions.
Okay, I asked Shelby for that, and yeah, okay, I'll summarize it. So we're doing these meetings with impacts. We're not doing online. We're taking people. We're starting in Abidjan. We're making a tour. So we're waiting for the mobility to be lifted, but we fly in directly to Abidjan in Ivory Coast because like flight never stopped. And we are in Ramadan mode. We're thinking after renewing the national community in June, we're gonna be doing this program with brothers in Ivory Coast as Yalda Morocco to promote these trade practices. Why I have this passion? Because it's my job. Me, I'm custom clearance agency in Morocco, so je maîtrise like the linguistic, the logistics sector, and I would like to share best practices with young entrepreneurs, not students, with people already in the game of import export. And thank you very much. Sorry for being a little bit over time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jawad. And those are amazing projects taking place right there in Morocco. So we can all get a very good example from you. So can we have the next slide? Next slide. It seems like we are gonna go back to Yalda, Liberia. Yalda, Liberia is doing amazing, amazing stuff. And I'm gonna invite back Mohammed. Mohammed, are you on the line?
Yes, Christopher, I'm on the line.
Go ahead and tell us
All
the
right,
amazing
so
stuff.
thank you so much. So after we had these online trainings and things, we as Yada Labra members in our various WhatsApp groups decided to ask ourselves that during this heat of COVID, where there's no movement and people are stayed, there are lots of children in disadvantaged homes, especially orphanages, that do not have access to food, and they are struggling because all our NGOs and government are reaching out to them. So what can we do as a local institution, those striving to make impact? So our members decided to embark on this community impact initiative, which focuses on distributing food items and assorted materials, targeting full disadvantaged orphanages. And this project was implemented last year, and we were able to donate a huge number of bags of rice, assorted materials, and other cooking utensils and things to 4 orphanages. And this project was able to benefit 150 children in those 4 orphanages during that heat of COVID. And our intervention was very timely because those orphanages were really left abandoned at the time. They were struggling to take care of these kids, and we were able to intervene at that point. And the interesting thing is that this story was captured by a media outlet in the Washington, D.C. They call the African Dream. We were able to carry, and in the month of July last year, Yada Labra won the Hero of COVID-19 award, which means we are impacting globally, we are fighting the pandemic. And this program is also, they are working to invite Yada Labra in the Washington, D.C. for a friendly conversation on how to scale up this initiative since we are doing on our own. And actually, we're able to leverage on the online fundraising tax. We were able to do fundraising among ourselves as the other branches, and we're also able to leverage on Facebook to talk with friends and other family members to contribute rice, contribute materials, items, so that we can distribute to these things. And also, this story was published by 3 different outlets in Ghana. So that means this initiative really went wide. So moving forward, we also decided to embark on another initiative called the Yada Labra Restores Confidence in Africa amidst COVID-19, where everyone was seated and we thought of how can we restore confidence in Africa? What can we do at this moment? So Yada members thought of having what we call the Yada Restore Confidence in Africa campaign. And we named this campaign Africa Can Beat COVID-19, which means Africa has all the resources, Africa has the capacity, Africa has everything it takes to defeat COVID-19. And as such, young people should not be deterred, young people should not panic, and they shouldn't be carried away by the pandemic. And then the strategy we used for this initiative was the other branches, we are all away, we are all at our homes. So what you do is take a poster, write on it, Africa Can Beat COVID-19, says Yada Liberia. And then just hold it in your hand, take a picture, and then send it to us. So we all block Facebook, all our social media outlets with this message. We're able to post it, promote it in our various chat rooms, promote it on Facebook. And this message really helped our members to bring confidence. It made them to engage into fun-provoking events. They were able to interact and bring that kind of smile in their faces. And then we believe that this initiative really helped our community and also help our continent Africa to restore confidence during the heat of COVID-19. Thank you so much.
All right. Mohammed, that is so inspiring. And we are glad that Yalda Liberia is blazing the trail in uncharted territories. And that is what Yalda is for, doing those things that impact the communities. and that restore hope and confidence in an Africa for Africans, African solutions for Africans, and Africa rising. The African dream is alive. Thank you so much for all those who have presented in this segment. I believe we are going on to the next segment, which will be, you'll be informed by Natalie about the same.
Thank you so much, Christopher, Mohammed, Jawed. Wow, wow, wow. That was quite riveting and inspiring. Branch leaders from other countries, are you challenged? Are you seeing what Yalda Liberia is doing online despite COVID pandemic? Personally, I'm challenged, and I will work with Christopher to see how Joshua and the other branch leaders in East Africa can emulate. I'm hoping other leaders from the other regions are also as inspired. Well done, Yalda, Liberia. Well done, Jawad. And well done, Christopher, for the presentation. Now I see we are running behind time, so we shall quickly but swiftly go through the rest of the session. And we have none other than the young, able, and very energetic Mohammed Kakula, the Deputy Regional Associate for West Africa, to take us through the next slide, which is the most important slide for many of us here, because we're always stating how we don't have enough funds to do different activities. We don't have enough funds to support our members. So basically, Mohammed is going to take us through the approach of online fundraising. Mohammed, do we have you online? Mohammed?
Yes, please, Natalie, you have me online. Okay, so once again, I'm glad. Approach. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Amaka, please. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so Yada branches, as we talk about digital strategy, as we talk about having meetings online, we talk about having trainings online, we should start to think about how to raise funds online. So let's move on to approaching the online fundraising task. And so we say COVID-19 has caused a lot of changes in the fundraising community. Social, economic, and health impacts are not being prioritized. So we see that priorities of corporate bodies who have lost of substantial income during the lockdowns have changed and are now focused on COVID-19 crisis response. So branches must respond by developing activities around COVID-19 response. No corporate body, multilateral organization, or donor will listen to your normal or traditional activities. So you need to adapt. Okay. So fundraiser will listen to activities to reduce health impact of COVID-19 and also those that assist in social economic recovery. So when we talk about raising fund online, basically we're talking about the kind of activities your branch get involved with, because corporate donors or supporters are most interested in things that has to do with addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. So ensure that you tailor your activities, your programs, your projects in line with achieving what we call reducing or eradicating COVID-19. So when it goes in that direction, definitely you're going to have the support. Like we talk about the COVID-19 donation to orphanages was basically to help in line with the COVID-19. So basically, people are waiting to support these kind of initiatives because it's going to create social impact and it's also going to help during the COVID-19 crisis. So you can use online tools, you can use online fundraising, you can use different mediums in which you can raise funds. So note that your objective or goal will determine if you get funding. Branches must adapt programs based fundraising. Okay. So we talk about fundraising options for Yada branches. We have crowdfunding. With this, you need to be clear and relevant with current trends of COVID-19 response. Your intention must either be health related or focus on assisting those that have been gravely affected by the pandemic. For example, the Yada US is launching a campaign to assist African students stranded in America, raising funds to purchase food, for poor communities, etc. So branches can organize online trainings where people can pay and attend. Bear in mind, people are adult and want to learn something. This is quite interesting because most of our events we've been having, the Young Leaders Summit I talk about, the online leadership training, participants pay a little amount to sustain the program. So these are where we've been going about. Just a very little amount we attach and people pay. So these are things we do to raise some funds, right? So we have 7 years for local community campaigns on COVID, could bring some funds to branches while implementing your activities. Branches could also have an initiative where pool members expertise together and sell online. For example, web designing, management, graphic designing, and other things. At the Yalda Library, we developed that skill, and we have also been able to design flyers for other organizations, and they paid us something small, so we can be able to implement our activities. So you can leverage on different tools, different mediums, different ways. You can raise funds to implement your programs. But note that it should focus on achieving reducing COVID-19. That by that you attract more people and raise more funds to implement your programs. Thank you very much, Nathan.
Thank you so much, Muhammad. I am hoping each and everyone has able to learn what they can, because fundraising is the cornerstone of having a successful Yalda branch. And if you're not able to do that, even despite the pandemic, then you will not be able to achieve much. So moving on to our next speaker, or the person supposed to present next, is none other than Notilja. But since we do not have her online yet, we shall just quickly go through the slides she was supposed to present. So I'm not sure if you can go back to the first slides, sorry, Shelvin, for the inconvenience, so that we can basically get the background to what this whole training and meeting was about. Shelvin, can you go back to, yeah, thank you. Yes, you can just go to the COVID-19 impact on Yalda branch activity slide. All right, perfect. So the whole essence of this training was that we realized that many of you have been affected by the pandemic and we're not sure on how to go on as to how to make your branches successful. So one of the things we realized that were impacted throughout the whole region and even in the diaspora by Yalda branches was, one, Yalda members not being able to meet in person. All of you are used to meeting in person, having meetings. You can't hear me?
We can hear
can
you.
you hear me? Okay. Someone was trying to say
Yes, go
something.
ahead.
Okay, all right, perfect. So we're saying most of you are not able to meet in person. That was one of the ways you're affected by the pandemic. Programs, university programs, not being able to run has affected all of you as well. Mental health, very important. Some of us have gone, not us like me, but like people we know have gone into depression. Others have been really, really severely affected financially, that they don't even have the morale to attend school, let alone have active, energetic participation in Yalda. I'm sure as branch leaders, you've noticed some of your team members have either disappeared or it's very hard to get a reach of them. Even in this meeting itself, it was hard to get a hold of everyone supposed to present. So that shows you the impact and scale of what it is we're going through. Then there's also, we experienced some delays in implementation of the Yalda AFC AFSTA campaign. Then Yalda South Africa iBootcamp was scheduled for September 2020. It was postponed. Then there's detrimental impacts on economies, meaning donors are still focused on the COVID-19 crisis rather than helping out Yalda. We're just speaking to Bukamu the other day and realized The last time some of us saw each other was probably 2 years ago. So it really has removed that physical element, that physical bond of being together. And that is why moments and meetings such as this, where we can all come together, even if it's online in the comfort of our beds or wherever we are, that listening to one another is still a bonding process that we had to make do due to the COVID-19. So despite all this, what has Yalda's response to COVID-19 been? Please go to the next slide, Shelvin. So as it's going to the next slide, this slide is basically saying Yalda's spirit is resilience. Despite the challenges, we had to find a way to go over them because we can't just sit down and cry over spilled milk. So while the COVID-19 crisis has been going on, what has Yalda done? One of the things Yalda was able to achieve is the 2020 Yalda ITC, I think it's ICT, video competition for innovative entrepreneurs addressing crisis. That was a really successful competition that was held. Then there was the 2020 stress management cafes and resilience boot camps that were held again in 2020. And this really helped people deal with stress and mental health issues. Then we have the ongoing webinars on crisis, vaccines, and also webinars that are scheduled to take place in June with the World Bank and YTA. So I'm sure all of you have attended a series of webinars since the pandemic started, which goes to show that, you know, Yalda has not been sitting on its laurels, but really doing something despite the challenges. Then we have the statements and research articles on the impact of COVID-19 from a youth perspective. We're able to reach out to Yalda members, both Yalda and non-Yalda members, to just listen to the perspective, hear what it is they're going through, and let their stories inspire us to either do better or see how we can help in our respective capacities. Then we have participating in conversations with multilateral partners on Africa's response to COVID-19 crisis to ensure youth are not left out. Yalda has had the privilege of having some of its members and leaders invited to some of these very important panels, very important conversations. And what this does for all of us is that when a Yalda member is on an important panel, it sets the Yalda name higher. So in future, when you say you're part of Yalda, they will remember, oh, we had a Yalda speaker in such a conversation, and you will not have to start from scratch. Last but not least, Yalda branches, more or less all of them went digital and now have activities online. Now, of course, there are some branches when COVID-19 just more or less died, but then there are those resilient branches like Yalda Liberia, who inspire the rest of us to not let COVID-19 take us down and strive to do better and be innovative regarding how we can thrive online. Shelvin, we can now move on to Notilja's last slides. You're doing a very good job, Shelvin. You deserve a pat on the back after this. Well done, well done. Okay, so now we're looking at how to keep young people active and engaged, because we realize, fine, we need to go online, but what about those people who are unable to go online? Or what about those people, or even if they go online, they feel they're not as part of the process? So we realize it's important for people to see the value of the experience of going online and doing volunteer work when working it for their branches. And then the way we can encourage this habit as branch leaders is honoring the best members with professional paper awards and actual tangible prizes. So if you want to encourage your members, if you have a meeting, let's say, for example, Yalda Morocco or any other Yalda branch, try and see a way of rewarding those members that come online, so the others who did not make it to the meeting feel left out and will want to join the next one. It's a reward system, and it really works well on human beings. Then lastly, Yalda members of the quarter are automatically eligible to attend the Yalda International Conferences. And at these conferences, they are entered into the picking for Yalda's. Felon 01, can they mute your microphone? Thank you so much. All right, so I was saying another way of encouraging online activities of members, tell your members that every time they attend the online activities or meetings, they are eligible to become the Yalda member of the quarter for your branch. And once they do that, then they could be picked as Yalda's top 3 members of the year, which comes with fabulous prizes and recognition. And who doesn't want that? Just a very good way of getting ahead and reaching out to everyone. All right, so the last slide is the importance of recognition and thanking your team. Now, as Yalda leaders, your team members need to feel appreciated and recognized by you. Sometimes we take things they do for granted, and that really decreases their morale. For example, to you, attending an online meeting may not be a big deal, but to a member who has used maybe the $2 they would have used to buy something else, to buy data and attend an online meeting, to them, it's more or less all they had, and they're putting in a lot. So you need to get into the habit of recognizing every and any little effort your members put forward to get engaged in the online activities or any other activities. And with a spirit of appreciation, they say, and a habit that gets recognized and appreciated gets repeated. So if we all do this, then more and more members will start recognizing the value and importance of coming online, and we shall have more participation in the online activities. So now we shall move on to the next segment, and that will be Shelvin. He'll be taking us through the strengthening branches and regions through active engagements. Shelvin, try to make it brief and effective, as I know you're capable of. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Natalie. So strengthening branches and regions through active engagement. So all YOs must engage and communicate with branch executives for regular updates. And all branch executives must engage with their members actively into insightful activities. And finally, members must be willing, committed, and ready to foster their digital plan for their branch. So regional plan to be implemented by all branches in the region. So all branches must draft a plan to serve as compass for all the branches. Okay, such a plan must be done by joint efforts of all the branches in the region. Secondly, all branch executives must ensure full implementation of the regional plan with the support of all inclusive. Thirdly, the branch executives and members together to ensure attainment of strong and sustainable goals towards achieving the Yalda mission as well as the vision for Africa. Yalda Sunday Hangouts. Yeah. Bitanya or Tamilu.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Great. My name is Tamelo, and I'll briefly.
Can everyone else mute their microphone, please? Except for the speakers.
Kasim, please mute your microphone.
Okay, Samilo, as you've been made an organizer, you can go ahead and mute the microphone for those who are unmuted.
I am unable to, Bitania. Can
I'm unable
Jessica,
to.
kindly Kasim?
Okay, everyone on this call, I don't know if they're listening to us, but please mute your microphone. Elizabeth or Jessica, I can see that you're an organizer. So can you go ahead and mute the microphones of those that are unmuted?
Oh, Joshua, I see you're an organizer. If you can kindly mute Kasim. Okay, he's been muted. Fantastic. Go ahead, Tlamelo. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. So we have a Yalda initiative called the Sunday Hangouts. What the Sunday Hangouts are an online networking, socializing, and relationship building sessions for young Africans from across the continent and the diaspora in a fun and relaxed environment. The people who can attend these Sunday Hangouts are anybody who's interested, both Yalda and non-Yalda members. The whole objective of these sessions is to basically hang out, have fun, talk, exchange ideas, and the like. And during these sessions, you'll be able to interact with different people, have group discussions, exchange experiences, and the like. And one of the things that we do during these sessions is we have what we call our breakout sessions. And during these breakouts, what happens is we take this big group of people who've come together to talk and have fun, and we split them into smaller groups to give them an opportunity to engage on a more one-on-one type basis. Because in a big group, not everybody will get the opportunity to speak or the opportunity to say what they want to. So during these sessions, we allow people to break into smaller groups just to have these more intimate discussions, you know. And what we try to do with these sessions is we try to make them as fun as we possibly can. So we also try to incorporate games in this whole activity. And the purpose of this is obviously to try to get people to unwind, try to get people to have fun, because a lot of what we do in our everyday life, and even as part of Yalda, is we deal with a lot of serious stuff and a lot of serious issues, and every now and then, everybody can benefit from unwinding and relaxing a bit. So this also gives us an opportunity as Yalda members to get to know each other on a more personal level, because a lot of us here know each other from email trails and being sent follow-ups and the like, and this is just an opportunity to, you know, kind of break down those barriers that may exist between us and, you know, our fellow young Africans out there. So that's was briefly it about our Yalda Sunday Hangout initiative. Back to you, Sheldon.
So do we have Joshua here from Yalda, Uganda?
Yes, you're right. Joshua is on. Hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Thanks very much. Now, mine is just to talk about a few things that we discussed in our meeting. And Uganda is kind of a country that is facing a very unique situation currently. And there are two situations that have come because of the elections that we had earlier this year. Social media became an issue because there was a lot of activism on social media, and so a number of social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter were blocked by the government, and so young people could not use them because these platforms were accelerating a lot of pressure on the government in terms of their plans, what they had executed, and then their political linings. So currently in Uganda, you can't access Facebook unless you use VPN or you use some viral networks that can't be tapped by the government. But also the president went on record saying that if anybody is found using social media illegally, then they can be apprehended by the law. So, but because it's young people, it's youth, occasionally many people find themselves using VPN and using other viral networks to be able to access social media. But generally in Uganda, Facebook is low, and people who are using it illegally. So if you're going to use it for an organization that is registered, and they see a number of tractions towards your posts, then that could attract the Uganda Communications Commission to summon the organization on how it's going online. Secondly, the government put up a tax on social media or on social media. So if you're going to access social media, you have to pay a tax. In Uganda, it's 200 shillings. I think that's roughly how many dollars? I'll calculate that. But there's a tax. So if you're going to access social media, you have to pay tax on a daily basis. You pay 200 Ugandan shillings to access social media. So this is a barrier for young people. First of all, young people have to go through the hurdle of buying a gadget that can access internet, and then two, they have to buy internet, and then on top of buying internet, they have to pay social media tax. So this is a very heavy burden for the young people here to be able to access social media. But also, on the other hand, the young people have become a little bit more innovative. Uh, there are many viral networks that are being used to access social media platforms. The only issue is you cannot go formal with an organization to do social media because that is against the tendencies of the government. Also, the universities that were giving free Wi-Fi to the students have now restricted their Wi-Fi to academic inclined kind of usage. So literally pushing the young people to be able to buy their own data and pay for the taxes and also evade what they can to be able to access social media platforms. What we've done in Uganda, because that has only slowed down our activation on online, but we have a lot of activity that is going on. We are working with partners like Habitat for Humanity, who give us part of the internet that we can use and do lots of our work. Currently, we are building an online hub, innovation hub for the young people. And so far, we have been able to certify 7 courses that will be able to run within the hub. And we've recruited 288 young people. And these are specifically dropouts because that's what the funding says. Habitat for Humanity described that we need to be able to help youth who have dropped out of school to start small scale businesses. And so we have built modules already, and we've signed MOUs with the Habitat for Humanity to train young people in hands-on skills like tailoring for the ladies, hairdressing, we're doing carpentry, we're doing welding, we're doing motor vehicle mechanics and motorbike mechanics. And ours as Yalda is to build the soft skills. But on the other hand, there are vocational institutions that have been hired to train the young people. And after they've been trained for 4 months in a vocational institution on the hard skills, Yalda comes in to train on the soft skills, on doing basic accounting, on doing basic marketing, on registering an organization, on grouping dynamics, and how you be able to be resilient with your business. Also, the other thing that I'll talk about that has been faced by the young people here is a lot of victimization has come up because of the elections that we had. You know, we've been able to try as much as we can to say when you read the word leadership in the name Youth Alliance for Leadership and Development in Africa, it doesn't mean we're here for political reasons. We're here for basically trying to lift the leadership skills in the young people. And that means business leadership, that means community leadership, that means so many other leadership traits that need that help young people become resilient in the community. It's not basically to say so and so has stayed for a long time and they need to leave, though that's also part of the agenda. I mean, it's part of the succession plan. Young people need to realize the issues in their community, and if they can solve them, they take them on. So basically, that's what I can say for now. Thanks very much.
So do we have John here to present the last part? John Obaba.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes,
Okay,
John,
thank
we
you
can hear
very
you.
much,
Go.
colleagues, for this wonderful presentation. All right, so the next slide, please. So I think we are coming to the end of the webinar, but we want to highlight some few announcements. First of it is that as Yalda members, we encourage and entreat everyone to like our social media pages, our social media handles. Kindly like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Kindly like and share. And also endeavor to comment on all our posts. So branch leaders, kindly inform your members to keep this happening. They should like the social media page, they should share among their networks, they should comment on posts just to keep Yalda visible, and we can reach out to a lot more young people and also increase our membership. So we encourage you to keep liking our social media handles. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right. You are encouraged to submit quarterly reports. This is one of the major issues we are battling with right now. We are unable to submit reports, especially the branches, on quarterly basis. If we are unable, if we don't submit reports, we wouldn't be able to tell the story. We wouldn't be able to track what we are doing. We wouldn't be able to know the successes and the challenges we are facing. So we encourage all branches to submit their quarterly reports. Every quarter, kindly submit reports. Now, if you are a new branch, all the executive director kindly note this. If your branch is new, you can still submit the report. What we are saying is that, can you tell us what you are doing? If you are just constituting your executives, let us know. And all the other places that do not apply, can you indicate not applicable? And submit the report so that we know that this branch is in existence. And this is the your level of achievement. And these are the challenges you are facing and how we can intervene and assist you. So we encourage you to submit the branches. Submit, 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 submit. This is what we are pleading with. We are encouraging the branches to do. Kindly go to the next slide. Kevin, the next slide, please. All right. So we have the link to the reports, quarterly reports, and I think all the branch leaders have it. If you don't, can you get in touch with your respective YRA to get you the link to the quarterly report so that you submit? Can you know the date? 22nd of April is for quarter 1. 22nd of July is for quarter 2. 22nd of October is quarter 3, and 22nd of December is for quarter 4. So kindly ensure that your branch submits the quarterly report. If that, if you don't submit the quarterly report at the regional level, we will also not be able to collate, the achievements and the challenges we are facing. So we encourage you to do so, please. Next slide. All right. So this is the link to the quarterly report. Kevin, next slide, please. And for this particular first quarter in 2021, the report is due on the 22nd of April, which is just past some few days back. So we encourage everyone, each and everyone, to kindly work on your quarterly report and submit, especially the branch leaders, There's a great news from Yalda, which is the Google ad grant. Google has an ad grant package for non-profit organizations to advertise their packages, their activities, and their actions on google.com. Yalda successfully has been given that, has passed that test and has been awarded that grant on monthly basis. So we want to use this to promote the activities of our branches, because the branches is Yalda. So we want to use this geared towards the promoting the activities of the branch. But before you benefit from this grant as a branch, you will need to submit your category reports. So we encourage all branches to submit their category report. We also send out a form for you to express interest if you want to use this particular grant from Google, so that we get you on board. But then you first need to submit your category report. Then you express interest, which through the form will be shared soon. Then we also request some few information from your branch. Then we can enroll you on the Google Art grant. It's $10,000 every month. So we want as many as possible branches to get on board to take advantage of this Google grant. Thank you very much. If you need any further details on this, you can reach out to your respective YRA for more details on the Google Art grant. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Hand over to you, Sonia. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. This is Britannia. Natalie, I think Dejan is on. If you can quickly speak on how to fundraise online before we wrap up.
Definitely. I'll make this quick.
I think we discussed that earlier with Mohammed.
Yes, he wanted to give a practical example from Yalda, US. No, he doesn't have a slide, but he's just gonna share the experiences from Yalda, US on online fundraising.
Okay.
Right. So just to add on what you guys covered earlier, we employed a number of different strategies regarding our team's fundraising. One of them being, obviously, networking is a big contributor to a successful fundraising campaign. And one of the things that we did, we attended an event called the Black Philanthropy Month, which was a convening of respective bodies, people who own businesses, and members of different organizations and associations. And we connected with the founder. Her name is Jackie Copeland, and she gave us a lot of insight on funding circles, namely the importance of getting into or connecting with philanthropy associations and making those connections. So that's one way. Another strategy involves, of course, crowdfunding and event-related fundraising, usually centered around some sort of cause as pertains to the organization. And another thing I would add has to do, since many of the branches are located at universities, universities are a great resource for funding, be it pertaining to travel or just anything in support of different activities that an organization is putting together. And what is one other thing? And I feel like a unifying theme regarding all of this has to do with, the importance of storytelling and creating a story, around an event. And one of the events that Yalda US is putting together currently is Africa Eats, and all of the things that I mentioned, the strategies I just mentioned, we're employing for our event series, Africa Eats, which is going to be a live cooking series from the different regions in Africa featuring notable chefs. And the aim is to create a platform for youth culinary artists, as well as open an audience to African food systems. And so those are some things that I think are very useful when it comes to fundraising. and happy to answer any questions. I do know we're out of time, so I hope this was instructive.
All right, thank you very much, Dejan. Natalie, back to you to wrap up the session.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I see we're just short of being ahead of time. This has been a really inspirational session. I was just chatting Bukamu, and we're agreeing that the stories and experiences you guys have shared have really touched each and every one of us in our own different ways. And I'm sure once we leave this meeting, we won't be the same in terms of we're going to try and see what we've learned that we're going to implement in our respective branches. And then those are already implementing, I'm sure you also heard from what others are doing and can see how to tweak and make better whatever it is. This has been a really wonderful and fantastic session. Unfortunately, due to time, I don't think we may have time for question and answer. Bukama, what do you think? Should we take a quick one? Okay, Bukam is probably not online. Maybe we can just, in the spirit of inclusivity, we can just have 2 burning questions. If you have a question, just kindly put. Well, this is the thing of using many platforms. I'm not sure if this is Zoom where you can put your hand up, but I'm looking at the chat. No questions there.
Okay, no
Yes?
questions there, but maybe just wanted to make just a comment and also just make something vivid. Maybe other regions can take an example from the East African region to have more vivid online trainings for managing the branches. So you can take a leaf from what happened in the East African region on 6th of March. Just have online management training, set expectations, see what your members lack, and put them in perspective. What I can say is that compassion and empathy is the new gold standard. People have gone through a lot. So as a team, you need to come together and understand what things you can put together as a team so you can move forward in one. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Joshua. That's really inspirational. And thank you so much for your hard work. In East Africa, your branch is one of the most active and has continued its persistence and resilience even despite the COVID pandemic. So officially, guys, we've come to the end of this webinar. Stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully, it's sooner than we expect. Just so that we can see everyone, those who are able to turn on your videos, let's say a quick hi. At least you see who's been on the call with us. If your network will not let you prosper, it's okay. We understand. We shall be with you in spirit. Or this is not Zoom where we can all see each other's screens. Loading webcams. Fantastic. Hi, Joshua. Okay. Who else wants to? Oh, John. Nice. Nice. Hi, John.
Electricity is not on our side, so we can see you.
It's interesting how it's nighttime over here and I'm seeing daylight with John. This is
Hi. We also have a Yalda baby in. That's
Hi,
nice.
Joshua.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Joshua.
I'm good. How are you? Nice to see you.